Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Basil, the White Dragon Masters. Today I haven't done these reviews in a while. I'm sorry about that. Sorry, got really busy with everything, but I'm coming back again. And here we are for today, UFC 181. UFC 181. Obviously, the Johny Hendricks, Robbie Lawler 2 fight, and we had quite a few exciting fights today. They were the co-main event was supposed to be Gilbert Melendez versus Anthony Pettis, and another one which was not really a main event but a good fight to watch was Travis Browne versus Brendan Schaub. First of all, I am only going to talk about the last three fights because those are the ones that are important. The other ones, they're great, but obviously not important enough to headline a show. So, but one thing I will say is welcome back to Todd Duffy, the guy from the heavyweight division. He definitely he's battling an illness that at least I didn't know about, that he said after he won. I don't even know what the name is, but he has some sort of a disorder, and he came back and he won. So that's great to see him back. He was a good fighter, strong guy. Now moving on. UFC 181. Overall, what do I think about the card? It's a bittersweet card. The reason being, the fights were good, but the main event was a little bit. I can't explain how I feel. It's really weird, and I'll come to that. But overall, it was a good card. I mean, you definitely would spend your money well if you saw this on pay-per-view or if you went to a bar and enjoyed the fights at night. So let's start off with the third last fight, which is Travis Browne versus Brendan Schaub. Obviously, Travis Browne, one of the greatest fighters that have come out in the last 4 years or so, definitely shocked everybody when he finished Alistair Overeem. So since then, I actually take this guy a lot seriously than I used to. And obviously, he also finished some other great fighters. So, and he's not a very big heavyweight too. Brendan Schaub, to be honest with you, a lot of these fights, I just knew the results. Sort of just with my own martial arts intuition. I just have an idea as a fighter. When you train and when you see people, when you follow the sport, you'll know. I had an idea that Travis Browne was going to beat him. However, I didn't expect, I knew that Brendan Schaub does not have a very good chin. He's been knocked out numerous times. And I honestly knew that Travis Browne was going to finish him. And apparently with my notes, I mean, round one, he won by ground and pound. He started by that one uppercut. It was a really solid uppercut from these heavyweights. You get a big, any hit from a from the 170 division, which is the welterweight to the middleweight to the light heavyweight to the heavyweight, any hit from this division up, these guys they're big boys. 170 up are big boys for me. 185, they're big boys. Any hit or kick from them, really, you feel it, especially if it's somebody at heavyweight. You hit somebody, they're down. At heavyweight, boom. He gave him a really nice uppercut, and that's actually what was the beginning of the end for Brendan Schaub. And then he did this little ground and pound, and the referee stopped it. So, great job by Travis Browne. Moving on to the co-main event, which was actually what I was very excited about, because Anthony Pettis is one of the greatest fighters I have seen in the UFC. He's probably one of the greatest kickers to come besides the late Mirko Cro Cop. I think there's nobody else who kicks as good as Anthony Pettis, because obviously he comes from a Taekwondo background, and you can clearly see that from his switch kicks and his jumping kicks and all that flashy shit he does. He's a great fighter. What shocked me, though, that he fought a guy like Gilbert Melendez, who is very nitty-gritty type of guy, and I honestly, again, fighter's intuition, the White Dragon's intuition, I knew that Anthony Pettis was going to finish him. I called it out weeks ago, months ago, and I knew that he was going to finish him. It's just that when the first round started, I was a little surprised, because Anthony really got dominated by Gilbert Melendez. I thought that he was going to lose. I was like, he was clearly losing. He felt uncomfortable. You could see it on his face. And then round two, he submitted Gilbert Melendez. He finished him, just like he finished Benson Henderson. So this shows how good his jiu-jitsu's become. I mean, he finished two world-class guys with jiu-jitsu. The first one was an armbar with Benson Henderson, and with Gilbert Melendez, he got him with a fast guillotine, and it was so fast that I don't think that Gilbert Melendez even saw that coming. I didn't see that coming. I thought this was going to be like a fight that Anthony Pettis was just going to knock him out at some point at round 2 or so, but he submitted him. So that was a great job by Anthony Pettis. I wonder who they're going to throw up against. I'm thinking Matt Brown. I'm thinking they might throw in Matt Brown, which will be a very interesting fight because Matt Brown is a very nitty-gritty, in-your-face type of fighter, and it would be great to see how he would go up against somebody like that. He's similar to Melendez, but I think he's a little tougher than Melendez. So let's see. Anthony Pettis, great job. Final, last but not least, or I would say the final fight, Johny Hendricks versus Robbie Lawler 2. And the reason I say Johny Hendricks versus Robbie Lawler 2 is because they've already fought before, and Hendricks stole that fight pretty much because of 1 or 2 takedowns that he did. This fight was very, very, it was, I saw this fight, the first round was dead even. First things first, Robbie came out to fight. He was straight off the bat. The bell rang and this guy went on with his punches and his kicks. He went in. So I thought, in the beginning, I thought that he was going to knock Hendricks out the first round. But guess what? He duked it out. Round 2, same. It felt dead even. Nothing changed much. It was round 3 and 4 that was questionable. I think round 3 was won by Hendricks. Round 4, it was hard to say because, see, the problem is that Johny Hendricks and most of these wrestlers, they think that if they can just grab and hold on to you and try to take you down, for some reason they are entitled to points. Holding somebody down as a martial artist and as a mixed martial artist myself, I don't think is really, in a wrestling match, that'll be great. But in a real fight, if you hold somebody down and you're not doing anything, it really doesn't matter. It's nonsensical to me. Frankly, they should score people when you take down somebody. You must hit them or do something. But you can't just lie around there like he was just lying around there the whole time. And he was working, but it got boring. And that's what happened. The main thing that happened was round number 5. Round number 5 was where I really thought that, okay, well, Hendricks is going to win again. The same way, seemed like an older fight, but the strange thing was that this time, Robbie Lawler changed. It was like, the old Robbie Lawler. 10 seconds, or I believe 15 seconds were left, and this guy went at it, like swinging. I think he almost finished Johny Hendricks. If he had a few more seconds on him, he might have thrown him on the ground with a punch or two. And he was aggressive, and when the fight was over, you could see clearly that Lawler was standing dead on at this guy's face, and he wasn't even phased. It was great. So Robbie Lawler won. He won this fight. He won this fight via decision. He's the new welterweight champion. Congratulations to him. But I can see why Johny Hendricks' side, as well as anybody who's Johny Hendricks' fan, would find this a wrong decision, because it could have gone either way. I think it was just the last round that Robbie Lawler stole because of his aggressiveness. So anyway, guys, I hope you liked the White Dragons review. UFC 181 was a great card. The next card is going to be awesome. I am waiting for it like crazy. I cannot wait to have and see John Jones get his ass handed to him by Daniel Cormier. I hope he loses, and that's going to happen soon. And so, guys, for now, Basil the White Dragon Masters out.